Peace, everyone. Welcome to Winning Wednesdays for Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. Today is the best day in history to be alive. Today is the best day in history to be alive. This supercomputer right here has more information on it than ever before. A few clicks on that little supercomputer, and I can pretty much do anything I want. This laptop is another supercomputer. A few clicks on this laptop, and I can pretty much do anything I want in history. So that's why I say today is the best day in history. As you come in, let us know where you're from. Let's see here. I got several things I wanted to discuss today in my notes. I've got several things here I want to go over today. First things first, we are live on YouTube, we are live on X, and we are live on StreamYard. So we welcome everyone across the platforms. My name is Errol. I'm your host, the Winning Wednesdays, and I am simply a critically thinking colored man. I am simply a critically thinking colored man. If that makes me dangerous, so be it. All right, so who we got? We got my guy James. Welcome, James. Peace, James. Where are you checking in from, James? What planet? What atmosphere? What country, what city, what state, what county, what area code, what town, what hood are you checking in from? Let us know. Let's see here. Let me check what's going on in these asset streets. Okay. Great day to become rich in America. As of 12:02 p.m. Eastern, it is a great day to become rich in America. Okay, great day to escape the corporate plantation. A great day to sharpen your mindset. A great day to sharpen your skill set. A great day to sharpen your work ethic. A great day to secure your future. Okay, so let me show you what I'm looking at. Let me pull it up. And share my screen. I'm going to tell you what I'm looking at. Let's see here. Let's see if I can share this right here. Great day to get rich in America. All right, let me share my Google Gemini. Shout out to Google. Let me share my screen here. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. Google Gemini. Let's see what's going on with Google Gemini. All right. Major stock markets are lower today, Wednesday, January 24th. Okay, let's pause for the cause right there. The major U.S. stock markets are lower today. Okay, so how's our psychology today? What's the psychology today? Is it one of panic? Is it one of fear? Is it one of excitement? Is it one of indifference? Is it one of jubilation? Is it one of opportunity? What's the psychology today? Okay, what's your psychology today? Major U.S. stock markets are lower today, Wednesday, January 14, 2026, amid a broad market slide driven by bank earnings reports and geopolitical news. Okay, what's the psychology? Are we getting caught up in the headlines? Are we getting caught up in the short term? Do we have the long-term vision in mind? What's the psychology? As of midday, the S&P is trading at 68.87. Dow Jones average 48.891, and NASDAQ composite at 23.322.64. Okay, so here's a little chart from Gemini. Okay, let's see what the key insights say. Market performance, all three major U.S. indexes open lower, have extended their slide, putting them on pace for second consecutive day. Oh my gosh. How should I react? Should I react with fear? Should I react with panic? Should I panic sell all my assets? What's my psychology? What's my approach? Bank earnings. Shares of major banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America tumbled after Q4 earnings. Wells Fargo missing revenue estimates. Okay. What else we got? Technology and cybersecurity stocks are under pressure after reports indicated China ordered domestic companies to cease using U.S. and Israeli-linked security software. Okay, so shout out to China. Shout out to China for not being so vulnerable. Shout out to China for keeping all their production in-house. Okay, I would do the same thing if I was China. I wouldn't want to be that vulnerable to my competitors. Okay, I wouldn't want to be that vulnerable to other countries. I wouldn't want a next man to control my outcomes. I'd prefer controlling my outcomes my damn self. Shout out to China. Energy sector rally, bucking the trend. Energy stocks continue to rally, sending ExxonMobil shares to an all-time high. Okay, no surprise. Last week, 2 weeks ago, ExxonMobil, Chevron, what's that other? I forget the name of that other other energy giant. They're all lining up to. They're lining up. They're all lining up. They're probably already on Venezuelan borders, on Venezuelan soil, ready to do their thing if they're not already doing their thing. Okay, so here's some quick overview. Wednesday, January 14, 2026. Okay, so that's what I was looking at a minute ago. Great day to get rich in America. How are we going to react? What's the psychology? What's the approach? Do you have a different approach? I'm going to show you my screen here on, let me stop sharing that one. Let me share my trading view. Here's what I'm looking at in trading view. S&P down about 1%. Let's see. Okay, let's see right here. Okay, S&P down $7, about 1%. NASDAQ down 1.6%. Triple Q 615 on the triple Q. Apple 257. AMD has been on fire last couple of days. Currently 221. Amazon down to 236. Okay, wow, Amazon down. I need to buy some Amazon. Shout out to Andy Jassy. Keep working hard on my behalf. 236 on Amazon. Broadcom, another good one. 335.90 down over 5% today. Broadcom CEO is Tan Hawk. I forget his name. My mistake if I mispronounced it. Shout out to you. Keep working hard. Shout out to Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. Coinbase currently 258. Brian Armstrong, keep working hard. The harder you work, the less I work. Shout out to you. Google 332. SoFi 2627. Shout out to Anthony Noto and Anthony Tomo. I forget the last name. Shout out to CEO of SoFi, Anthony Noto. The harder you work, the less I work. Shout out to you. Keep doing your thing. Keep working hard. Shout out to Microsoft CEO Sundar. No, my bad, my mistake. Shout out to CEO of Microsoft, Satya. Shout out to Satya. The harder you work, the less I work. Microsoft currently at 461. Shout out to Zuckerberg, one of my top right-hand men. Shout out to Zuckerberg. Meta currently at 617 and some change. The harder you work, the less we work. Shout out to you, Zuckerberg. Who else we got? NVIDIA 181, same thing. Jensen Wang, another one of my right-hand men. NVIDIA currently at 181. The harder Jensen works, the less we work. Shout out to Jensen. Same thing, Alex Karp, Palantir CEO. Palantir currently 174.51. The harder Karp works, the less we work. Okay, shout out to you guys. Keep working hard. Keep sacrificing. All right, so that's what I'm looking at in the indexes and some of the mega caps, some of the smaller companies I follow. Okay, so that's where we stand as of 12:08 p.m. Eastern, Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. Okay, so how are we feeling on that? How are we feeling that? Now, who we got? Okay, my guy James, Columbus, Ohio, in the building. Columbus, Ohio, in the building. Who else we got? AC Salam, North Carolina in the building. North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. My guy Howard, Texas represent. Opportunities to buy the dips, opportunities to get rich, opportunities to build out your positions, opportunity to send America's top executives to work on your behalf. Okay, my guy says he's observing. All good, all good. Shout out to AC Salam. Okay. All right, let's get into a couple of things. Yesterday, you might have heard, you might have read, CPI report came out yesterday. Inflation report came out yesterday. I believe the PPI report came out this morning. Let's see if I can find an article regarding. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, okay, so let me share my screen here. CPI report came out yesterday morning. Here's an article from Yahoo Finance. Let's see what Yahoo Finance is saying. Inflation eases in December. Core consumer prices rise at slowest pace since March 21. CPI report says This is from yesterday morning early. Inflation eased in December as core consumer prices rose at the slowest annual rate. CPI released by the Bureau of Labor Stats on Tuesday morning showed that on a core basis, which excludes the more volatile categories of food and energy, consumer prices rose 0.2% over the previous month. 2.6 increase in core CPI matches the rise reported in November and equals the slowest pace in annual inflation since March 2021. As you may remember, yesterday the market was nice and green. On a headline basis, consumer prices rose 0.3% over the prior month. Okay, let's see what else we got. Inflation remains stubbornly above the Fed Reserve's 2% target for some time. It has drifted downward over the past year, however, has been categorized by policymakers as a less acute risk to the economy than a dramatic softening of the labor market. Okay, so there's an article from Yahoo Finance. Let's see here. Moves over October and November suggesting that underlying inflation pressures have genuinely moderated in recent months. Tuesday report comes just a few days after the December jobs report. I think the jobs report came out, end of last week? Showed that unemployment rate retreated from a 4-year high, largely firming up investor bets that the Fed will keep rates unchanged later this month, okay? So one thing I got in my notes here is I want to look up the next Fed meeting. I believe it's at the end of the month, so we're going to look up the date shortly. Okay, here we go. Actually, it's right here. Following the December CPI report, data from the CEM group showed markets putting a 95% odds at the Fed keeping the rates unchanged at the conclusion of its January 27-28 meeting. Okay, so this is a date you're going to mark on your calendars. 127, 128, the Fed will meet at the end of the month to determine what they do regarding current interest rates. All right, so put that day on your calendar, 127 to 128. All right. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to share. CPI report came out yesterday morning. All right. Okay, so you can check out that article on your own time. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? Yesterday, the market was nice and green. So far today, the market is nice and red. Okay. I want to look up actually today's PPI report. Let me see if I can pull up today's PPI report, price index. Let me see here if I can pull it up on Gemini. PPI report. And let me share my screen. Let's see what that says. Okay, here we go. Share right here. Okay, shout out to Gemini. Shout out to Google. Keep doing your thing with the AI. Okay, producer price index reported released today, Wednesday, January 14th, shows that wholesale inflation picked up in November 25. The report was significantly delayed due to a 43-day Fed government shutdown that occurred last fall. Okay, some key headlines here. Okay, so I believe that's one of the driving forces of today's red so far. The December 2025 report has been scheduled on release for the end of the month, 1:30, 26, 8:30 a.m. Okay, so this is another day for your calendar. This is another day to mark on your calendars, 1:30, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, the next PPI report. Okay, CPI report, PPI report. Okay, so that's what I believe the catalyst was today for a lot of this red in these asset streets. Okay. Tesla down to 435. I see Tesla down to 435. TSM down to 327. ExxonMobil. Okay, so ExxonMobil been on fire the last week. 129.73 is what I'm looking at. Okay. All right, so that's what we got going on in terms of CPI and PPI. CPI and PPI. Okay. All right. Another thing you might have heard in these asset streets recently was that Apple and Google have teamed up again. So it's another thing I wanted to talk about here. I've got an article from CNN Business I wanted to show. Apple teams up with Google Gemini for AI-powered Siri. Okay, so let's see what this article says. Apple teams up with Google. Okay, two heavyweights doing business with each other. Let's see here. This is from Monday. Apple plans to use Google's Gemini AI model to power its updated version of Siri. Let's see, which is set to launch later this year. The two companies that announced on Monday. After careful evaluation, Apple determined that Google's AI tech provides the most capable foundation for Apple foundation models, and is excited about the innovative new experiences it will unlock for. Okay, let's pause for the cause right there. There's a key word right there, innovative. Okay, the top companies in the world, the top executives in the world are continually innovating. They're continually, can't even say the word. They're continuously asking themselves how they can improve their product and service. We can take a lesson from that. We are all executives. How can we improve our product and service? How can we innovate? How can we be ingenious? I believe the word is ingenious. How can we create? How can we innovate? How can we improve constantly? Just because you have a great product or service today doesn't automatically mean you have a great product or service tomorrow. Okay, how are you going to improve? Apple and Google said in a state. Okay, the two companies noted that they have entered into a multi-year contract whereby Apple will use Google's Gemini model and cloud computing tech to power AI futures. The move could help Apple accelerate the release of its more advanced AI-powered version of Siri voice assistant, which was delayed after first being teased at the company's 2024 Worldwide Development Conference. The delay contributed to concerns Apple's behind fellow tech giants in AI development. So I'm sure Apple's got something cooking up. I'm sure they're cooking up something behind the scenes. I'm sure they've got something in the pipeline. Okay, you can't be that big of a company, that strong of a company, and be such a laggard for so long. Okay, I'm sure Apple's got some tricks up their sleeve. Okay, it's also a major win for Google in the ongoing Silicon Valley battle to create the most capable and widely used AI model. Apple has also partnered with OpenAI to use ChatGPT to power some AI features, but the deal announced Monday puts Gemini at the center of Apple's future AI strategy. Okay. Is there a business lesson in that? Is there a lesson in this first couple sentences right here? Is there a lesson? Is there a business lesson for us here? It's also a major win for Google in the ongoing Silicon Valley battle to create the most capable and widely used AI model. Apple has also partnered with OpenAI to use ChatGPT to power some AI features, but the deal announced Monday puts Gemini at the center of Apple's future AI strategy. Here's my little takeaway from this sentence right here. I'm going to rock with whoever's got the best product or service. Okay, I'm going to rock with whoever has the best product or service. That's what Apple has done. They first made a deal with ChatGPT. One of their competitors, Google, comes out with a better product or service. Now they're rocking with them. It was not immediately clear whether and how Apple's deal with Google will affect the integration of ChatGPT and some of its features, AI features, into the phone on the iPhone. All right, let's see what else this says here. Shares of Apple and Google were up less than 1% midday Monday. The stock bump pushed Google's market cap to $4 trillion for the first time in intraday trading Monday, making it the fourth publicly traded company to reach the milestone after NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple last year. Okay, so interesting article. Heavyweights do business with each other. Okay, not so breaking news here on Winning Wednesdays. Big boys do business with other big boys. Okay, are you a big boy? If you're not a big boy, maybe you partner with a big boy. Okay, Apple teams up with Google. Okay, heavyweights do business with other heavyweights. Okay, interesting article here from CNN Business. Interesting article from CNN Business. What do you guys think about that? Are you guys owners in Google, owners in Apple, owners in Microsoft, owners in, well, those are the 3 or 4 companies that are mentioned in that article. Okay, what do you guys think about that? All right, so interesting article right there. I wanted to share that headline. What else we got? Okay, let's go to another. Speaking of Google, speaking of Gemini, Speaking of Google, I use Google products every day. So I'm going to use a Google product right now. Let's go to another Google product. Let's go to one of my favorite products overall, and that is YouTube. Let's go to YouTube. All right, so interesting shorts I saw here on CNBC's short page here. A couple I wanted to share, and then we'll talk about some Yahoo Finance shorts I saw that were interesting. Let me see what we got here. Okay, you might have seen Trump beefing with Powell right here. Let me turn up the volume. Let me see if I can get the audio to work.
Confident or he's crooked. I don't know what he is, but he certainly doesn't do a very good job.
So he's incompetent or he's crooked.
At least he didn't say.
Let me try that again. Let me try that again. Let me go back and retry. Let me retry. First, let me find that. Okay, here we go. Let me try that again.
Well, he's billions of dollars over budget. So he either is incompetent or he's crooked. I don't know what he is, but he doesn't.
Okay, I can't even hear that, so I doubt that you can hear that. Let me see.
He's incompetent or he's.
What am I doing wrong here? Try another one. Let's try this.
Microsoft.
City's fourth quarter results impacted though by the sale of its remaining operations
okay, maybe
in
let me
Russia.
take it
So
off
that resulted in
a try this. Here we go.
Impact to EPS of about 62 cents per share, which City's fourth quarter results impacted, though, by the sale of its remaining operations in Russia. So that resulted in an impact to EPS of about 62. Let
me go back to the short that I wanted to share. Now that I got the volume straightened out. Okay, Trump and Powell beefing.
Well, he's billions of dollars over budget. So he either is incompetent or he's crooked. I don't know what he is, but he certainly doesn't do a very good job.
So he's incompetent or he's crooked.
At least he didn't say criminal, because that was the real worry, right?
I don't know. Is the difference between crooked and criminal?
Yes, I do. I don't know. He constantly is berating Powell.
Well, berating is one thing, or is accusing someone of being a crook berating.
You know, look,
you don't want to be here right now.
No, I'm happy to be here right now. I'm happy to be here right now. I think it's constant rhetoric that we've heard out of the White House. I'm only laughing because I'm thinking, have either of you two ever done a renovation that's come in on time or under budget?
No.
Well, he's billions of dollars over budget. So he either is
Trump beefing with Powell. I saw an interesting article. I think it was Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan CEO, was saying, essentially he was saying that he takes the side of Powell, but I'm going to actually maybe look up the article and share that shortly. Let's see what else we got here. Airbnb CEO on news, chief technology officer. We have an opportunity to do AI right for travel and e-commerce. Let's see what's going on here.
We have a unique philosophy at Airbnb. I think a lot of people in Silicon Valley start with the technology and they try to find uses for the technology. In other words, they have a solution, they're searching for a problem. I think one of the things we try to do is we start with the customer and work backwards to technology. And so because of that, we have been very serious about AI, but we've not been wanting to rush into implementations that are novel but not really good for the user. We really want to make sure things we do are excellent. So with Ahmed, I think I'm really, really excited because I think we have an opportunity to do AI right for travel and do AI right for e-commerce. You know, people use chatbots a lot right now. They're not using them a lot for commerce. I think a conversational search is a little clunky for e-commerce.
How much do you worry, though, that some of the large language models are moving so fast that you're not able necessarily to actually beat them, or they're able in some ways to beat you at your own game? And I say that because, you know, ChatGPT now is allowing you to actually make purchases through it. Google doing the same. Now Google partnering with Apple. And so even if you don't want to do it, do you ultimately have to sort of live inside that ecosystem?
Both can be true. We are happy to integrate Airbnb into ChatGPT and to Gemini and to other platforms. I think that's great for us because Airbnb, first of all, is much more than a booking app. First of all, Airbnb is a community. 90% of people who book on Airbnb send a message to the host before they book. Everyone who books has to have a verified ID. So there's a lot more to Airbnb than just the booking app. Point number one. Number two, we have access to the same models as Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic. But we can do things they can't do. We have the benefit of specialization. I do not believe that people want to use just one agent to do every single thing in their life, just like they don't want one person in their life. I don't think we want thousands of agents, but we're not going to have a single agent. We're going to want to have some specialization. And so where we will win is that we will be specialized for traveling and living. We think people come to us for that. We have a unique philosophy.
For me as a consumer, I actually welcome the idea of having one app, one centralized app, or, you know, a smaller number of apps that handle everything instead of 12 apps that handle 12 things individually. I think China's got that model. I think, not Alibaba, but I believe China has basically one central app that handles everything. For me as a consumer, I prefer that instead of having to go log into 10 different apps, 10 different passwords, and, you know, handle 10 different tasks individually. So I actually welcome that idea. All right, let's go back. All right, so let's a couple shorts from CNBC. Elon Musk says Tesla is moving full self-driving to a monthly subscription. That's an interesting short right there. Let's see what's going on with Musk.
For some time, when Tesla has offered its full self-driving software to buyers of its vehicles, you could either do it as a one-time payment when you bought the vehicle of $8,000, or you could do a monthly subscription. Well, now it will only be offered through a monthly subscription. Tesla, Elon Musk announcing that it will be a monthly subscription only for full self-driving tech.
All right, let's pause right there. That's a great business lesson right there. What's the lesson in the first 20 seconds? Let's replay that. I'm going to replay that. Think of the business lesson in the first 20 seconds of this clip and drop it in the chat, okay? What's the business lesson in the first 20 seconds of this clip? Let's rewind. Let's think about the business lesson.
Sometime when Tesla has offered its full self-driving software to buyers of its vehicles, you could either do it as a one-time payment when you bought the vehicle of $8,000, or you could do a monthly subscription. Well, now it will only be offered through a monthly subscription.
What's the lesson right there? What's the lesson right there? Do you think Tesla did that by just because they felt like that? Did they go from a one-time to a monthly just because they felt like it? Or do you think that's based on some kind of analysis? What's the lesson there? Is there a lesson there? Why did they switch from a one-time $8,000 upfront payment to a monthly subscription? Why do you think they switched? Just out of the kindness of their heart? Was there some kind of analysis? Was there some kind of justification behind that? Or they just switched just to be your friend? Why do you think they switched from one time to a monthly? What's the justification? If you're CEO of Tesla, if you're CFO of Tesla, if you're CEO of Tesla, if you're CTO of Tesla, what's the justification? Why would you switch? Drop the reasoning in the chat. There's a great business lesson there. What's the reasoning? Drop it in the chat. I'm going to give you what I suspect in a minute. I want to see what your reasoning is. Why would they go from a one-time upfront payment of $8,000 for FSD to a monthly of $99 for FSD? Starts February 4th. Why do you think that happened? Let's replay that one more time. Do you think they just did this out of the kindness of their heart because they like you so much?
For some time, when Tesla has offered its full self-driving software to buyers of its vehicles, you could either do it as a one-time payment when you bought the vehicle of $8,000, or you could do a monthly subscription. Well,
why?
Now it will only be offered through a monthly subscription. Tesla, Elon Musk announcing that it will be a monthly subscription only for full self-driving technology in its vehicles. It'll start at $99 per month starting on February 14th. All of this raises the question, how many people actually subscribe to Tesla for full self-driving technology or have it actively used in their vehicle, so they actively use it? Tesla doesn't release...
Let's pause for the cause. Let's pause for the cause right there. In the first 20 seconds, if you're really on the ball, you already know what was coming in the next minute or so. You already know they switched because they probably figure $8,000 isn't enough. $8,000 one-time payment isn't enough. We can be way more profitable from the $99 monthly subscription. Okay, so it was based on justification. It was based on the analysis. It wasn't based on they trying to be your friend.
That data, nor does it release how much it gets from full self-driving subscriptions. But I've talked with analysts over the years. In fact, I checked with one this morning, and he said, look, somewhere in the mid-teens, 12 to 15% has always been the estimate. It might be a little bit higher, might be closer to 17 or 18% of the Tesla vehicles in the United States.
Pause for the cause. Pause for the cause. Pause for the cause. Okay, so if you follow me for a while now, you know I'm about the numbers. I'm not about the emotion. If you take that, just take the 12%. Take the 12% of the total people that use FSD that are on the monthly subscription, do the math, extrapolate that over 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, see if that's more than $8,000. I guarantee you it's more than $8,000. No feelings, all mathematics.
States have active full self-driving. But again, that's a complete estimate because Tesla does not release that. As you take a look at shares of Tesla, keep in mind a couple of things here. The Cybercab, that is going to be front and center this year. Production is expected to begin in fuller volume later this year. And then when we actually see Cybercabs on the road as part of the Tesla robotaxi network, that remains to be seen. But you guys know how this works. What you're essentially looking at right now is Tesla making a push to have full self-driving technology on a subscription basis. That would be the key for what they are moving for. There you see the Cybercab when Elon Musk unveiled it last year. So guys, $99 a month if you have a Tesla. That's what it costs. I should also point out, I have a friend who has full self-driving, paid the $8,000. Said, that's great. I rolled it into the monthly payment. Not anymore.
Okay, so great business lesson from this short. One thing we can take away from this short is we want to look back. Okay, so just because we did something, just because our best practices up to this point are XYZ, that doesn't necessarily mean our best practices moving forward is XYZ. Maybe they need to be ABC. So the takeaway here is to look back and always adjust, always pivot, always make those adjustments, do what's best in best interest of your company. Just because we did something today doesn't automatically mean it's best for our business tomorrow. So great short here from CNBC regarding Tesla. Okay, I'm sure they've done the analysis. They crunched the numbers. They're not just trying to make you happy. They're trying to make their bottom line happy. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, Yahoo Finance got some great shorts. Let me share. There's several I wanted to share from Yahoo Finance. Let me pull up the right screen here. Okay, Tesla did not become the top 10 company, top 12 company in the world by accident. Okay, they move with purpose. They move with strategy. Okay, there was no accident there's no accident involved in becoming $1 trillion company. They perform their analysis. They know exactly what they're doing. They didn't just fall backwards into becoming a $1 trillion company. Okay, they know exactly what they're doing ahead of time. Nothing was by coincidence. It's all by design. It's all by strategy. All by purpose. Okay, here we go. Yahoo Finance. Here we go. Okay, let's see what we got. Yahoo Finance. Here's some interesting shorts from Yahoo Finance. Let me see. Let me see what we got going on. Here's one. Qualcomm.
This is our little businessman robot, clearly outfitted in the appropriate attire. This is our little businessman robot, clearly outfitted in the appropriate attire.
If you had this robot, okay, just say this robot cost you $10,000, what would you do with this robot? What would you do if you had one of these robots? Okay, well, how would you use it? Would you even use it, or are you just would you send it to work? First thing I'm doing is sending that thing to work. Get your ass outside, man. Go cut that grass. Get your ass outside. Go wash that car. Okay, $10,000. Your ass got to go to work. All right. Let's see what else we got here on the shorts. Shout out to Qualcomm. Let's see what we got here. This is an interesting one here.
Plan to distribute the money from the Venezuela oil sales.
We want to make sure that Venezuela can survive. Venezuela needs money. We're going to have a lot of money left over. And the money left over is going to the United States of America, and the oil companies are going to be very happy.
Plan to distribute the money from the Venezuela oil sales.
We want to make sure that Venezuela can survive. Venezuela needs money. We're going to have a lot of money left over. And the money left over is going to the United States of America, and the oil companies are going to be very happy.
Is this jack move? That's a jack move. They're not even being subtle about it. It's a straight up overt jack move. Okay, I'm I'm going to post up on your soil. I'm going to kidnap your president, and I'm going to take your resources, and I'm going to pay my own people with the resources. How thoughtful of you. All right, Trump be trumping. All right, that's not breaking news. Let's see what else we got. Oh, here's one. Here's a good one.
The Costco purchase has been a big deal. I've been asked whether or not we'd consider that to be a positive or negative for us. I think that's really a positive for us, because what Costco is doing is giving its seal of approval on gold as an investment asset. And that's good for all of us in the industry. Costco is selling very low quantities, and they're often running out. The Costco purchase has been a big deal. I've been asked whether or not we'd consider that to be a positive or negative for us. I think.
Okay, Costco selling gold. Does anyone buy gold from Costco? Why Costco selling gold is a big deal.
That's really a positive for us, because what Costco is doing is giving its seal of approval on gold as an investment asset. And that's good for all of us in the industry. Costco is selling very low quantities, and they're often running out. The Costco.
Okay, that's what 1 ounce. Okay, 1 ounce right there. I'm wondering if they cap, if you roll to your local Costco and you want to buy 100 of these, do they cap it? I'm wondering if can I walk out with 100 of those? Can I walk out with 500 of those if I buy it, or do they cap do they limit how much I can buy at one time? Okay, so another interesting short right there. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I like this Qualcomm robot, businessman robot. Let's see what we got here. Here's some more robots. Ice cream robot. Okay, so just the 57th reminder that the future is here. Okay, the future is not in the future. The future is already here. Okay, so not so breaking news here on Winning Wednesdays. All right, so some dope shorts from YouTube right there. Some dope shorts. Let me see if I can find this. What I did, let me see if I can find. Yeah, while we were watching those YouTube shorts a minute ago, what I did was ask Gemini. You know, I stay using Google products. We got YouTube, we got Gemini. I use Google Maps on a regular basis. But anyways, while we were looking up those shorts, what I did was look up Jamie Dimon, what Jamie Dimon had to say regarding Trump and Jerome Powell. So here's a quick recap according to Gemini. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? Okay, so what I did was literally search Dimon, Trump, and Powell right there. A significant conflict has emerged between Trump, Powell, and JP Morgan, CEO Jamie Dimon. Actually, I got to put him on the list. Shout out to Jamie Dimon. You are now on my list, okay? I'm going to send your ass to work, okay? I'm going to put you on my to-do list. I'm going to put you on my to-send-to-work list. As of mid-January 26th, detention centers a DOJ criminal investigation to Powell, which Dimon and other Wall Street leaders have condemned as a threat to central bank independence. The conflict over Powell. Powell disclosed on January 11th that he is the subject of a criminal probe. Trump has intensified his attacks, calling Powell incompetent or crooked and referring to him as a jerk who will be gone soon. Trump maintains the investigation is justified due to budget overruns, which he has likened to a palace of Versailles. I don't even know what that is. Palace of something European sounds like. Powell's defense. Powell has characterized the investigation as a pretext for a political pressure campaign aimed at forcing the Fed to slash interest rates according to the president's wishes. Okay, here we go. Dimon's intervention. Defense of independence. Trump's rebuttal. He says, Diamond says, anything that chips away at Fed independence is a bad idea that will ultimately lead to higher inflation and interest rates. Okay, so 3 top executives clashing it out. Okay, so keep an eye on this. We'll see how this progresses as the spring approaches. Diamond, Trump, and Powell. Okay, Diamond. I would have thought Diamond would take Trump's side, but it doesn't look like that's the case. It doesn't look like that's the case. All right, so interesting between these 3 guys the last couple of days. All right, so that's what we got going on between Trump, Powell, and Jamie Dimon. All right, those of you in the masterclass, those of you that were in my options masterclass the last 6 weeks, we concluded last night. What I wanted to do was just quickly recap some takeaways. If you've been following me for a while, even if you haven't been even if you didn't join the masterclass, what are some takeaways what are some common themes if you follow me? What are some takeaways from Winning Wednesdays? What are some takeaways from the other classes? If you've been following me a while, what are some takeaways that you have from me? What are some takeaways? Drop them in the chat. If you have any takeaways, you've been following me for a while. If you followed the masterclass the last 6 weeks, what are some takeaways? One common theme you may have from me is analysis over emotion. Analysis over emotion. That basically means do the math, run the numbers. If it makes sense, pull the trigger. If it doesn't make sense, keep it moving. Okay, so that's one key takeaway. If your analysis is on point, there shouldn't be any fear. Okay, so a lot of the time we're scared. We have a lot of fear because we don't understand the numbers. Okay, so if we do understand the numbers, if our analysis is on point, there should be nothing to fear. Okay, so analysis over emotion is one takeaway. What's another takeaway? If you've been following me a while, what's another takeaway? Drop it in the chat. While you drop that in the chat, I'm gonna check current market. Okay, current market nice and red. Great day to get rich. Great day to sell some puts. Great day to buy some calls. Great day to get wealthy in America. Jamie Dimon, I'm gonna send you to work soon. Okay, what are some takeaways if you've been following me for a while? Let's see here. Okay, shout out to my guy Howard. What is it? Long money is the monthly income generation. Okay, shout out to Howard. Okay, Howard don't need HR. Howard don't need Santa Claus. Howard don't need a next man to bless him. Howard is blessing his damn self. Shout out to Howard. James, my guy James, the numbers make more sense for them to offer. Okay, yep. Tesla, yep. Yeah, there you go. Profit every month. Okay, if you do the math, I'm sure it's more than 8,000. Yep. All right, let's see what else we got. Howard, can you imagine using these robots in nightclubs as promotion? You know, that's a good point. I've seen some of these robots already in Publix, and I see them in grocery stores. Where else did I see them? I see them like going up and down the aisles, cleaning up and stuff like that. How would you use these robots? Can you imagine robots in nightclubs? Where else can we use these robots? Yo, first thing, I got a to-do list ready for that robot. Go cut that grass, go wash that car, go pick up the mail, go pick up the dry cleaning. What else? Go take out the trash, go do the dishes. That's 7 things right there already. Yo, robot, I paid $10,000. I need my return on investment immediately. Get your ass to work. All right, what else we got? Let me check the notes. Okay, let's see what else we got. All right, let's take a live look. Let me stop sharing that one. Let's take a live look at... Actually, let me pull it up first. One of my favorite financial resources is right here. Let's check some current headlines on CNN Business. CNN Business right here. Okay, let's see what CNN Business has got to say. Inflation remained at 2.7% in December as high prices continue to weigh on many Americans. Microsoft has a plan to stop AI data centers from hiking up your electricity bill. Shout out to Microsoft. Amazon's big plan to beat GPT. Give Alexa a better memory. Okay, Tesla's, okay, so let's see here. Tesla's profit engine is sputtering. Okay, I'm sure they just didn't change that one time to a subscription by accident. Elon Musk has bet its future on a promise he's far from delivering, so that might have to do with the FSD. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I saw this article right here the other day. China notches historic 1.2 trillion trade surplus despite Trump's tariffs. Okay, so here's just reading them few words right there gives me the takeaway that regardless of regardless of what a next man is doing, if I focus on what I'm doing, it doesn't matter what the next man's doing. So if I'm China, doesn't matter what America's doing, I'm going to win regardless. I'm too locked in on what I'm doing. Okay, so for me personally, I'm too locked in on what I'm doing to focus on what the next man is doing. If I lock in on what I'm doing, it doesn't matter what the next man is doing. So that's my takeaway from just reading that headline right there. Let's see what else we got. Okay, economic sanction right here, economic punishment right here. Trump immediately imposes 25% tariffs on countries that do business with Iran. That could include China. China's like, man, I don't give a shit. Do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to win regardless. Let's see what else we got. Okay, so some interesting headlines here from CNN Business. Why no one in corporate America wants to stick their neck out for Jay Powell? Because your neck going to get chopped off immediately. Probably. All right, so CNN Business right here. Dow Jones down, S&P down, NASDAQ down. Great day to get rich in America. Great day to get rich in America. All right, let's check Yahoo Finance. Let's see what we got. Yahoo Finance, what we got. Stocks sink as banks slide. Tech leads drop. I personally bought a little Microsoft today. I personally bought a little NVIDIA today. Let's see what else we have here. U.S. just greenlit NVIDIA's China chip exports. The stock is still down. If you like NVIDIA, if you like Jensen, maybe you buy a little NVIDIA. Maybe you buy a lot of NVIDIA. CrowdStrike CEO says AI agents are unpredictable. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so you can check these headlines on your own. I check Yahoo Finance just about every day. I've been checking Yahoo Finance just about every day the last 15 years, 16, 17 years. O's got some interesting articles from Yahoo Finance. All right, let me check another one of my favorites. Forbes is another one of my favorites. Okay, so beefing, more beef. Trump beefing. Why Trump's threats to Fed independence aren't troubling stocks. Aren't troubling stocks. Okay, Powell right there, Trump right there. Gold and silver prices smash new records amid Iran protests, Fed investigation. All right. What else we got? Interest rates likely to edge lower in 26, Fed signals. Powell vows to stand firm against Trump's legal threats. All right, you can check out Forbes on your own. So another resource I like checking out regularly, Forbes. All right, what do you guys think about some of those headlines? What do you guys think about some of those headlines? Oh, here's some takeaways. My guy Howard, shout out to Howard. Take over and control your own life. Okay, you are chief executive. You are the lead engineer. You are the lead architect. You are the lead change agent in your life. Who is better qualified to run your life than you? Should the next man be more qualified to run my life than me? Or should I be the lead engineer of my life, my damn self? Okay, shout out to Howard. Don't wait on others. Santa Claus don't like you like that. HR don't like you like that. A next grown man don't like you like that. Politicians don't like you like that. The list goes on. Shout out to Howard. Don't wait on others. Why would you wait on others when you're better qualified than others? Why the hell would I wait on HR? I whoop their ass in business. Let their ass wait on me. Stay your plan, okay? Discipline and patience for all you investors in the stock market. The longer you wait, the more patient you are, the more disciplined you are, the higher your return. Consistency. I want to be great. I put in the work every day. I don't put in the work one time. I don't put in the work one rep at a time. I don't put in one rep and think I'm going to be great. I put in 1,000 reps. I put in 10,000 reps. I put in 100,000 reps. I put in 250,000 reps. Okay, consistent every day, every period, every month, every quarter, every year, every decade, every century. I'm going to put in the work because I want to be exceptional. Less is at times better than more. Yeah. So yeah, I think you heard me say less is more sometimes. I think back to my previous life when I was trying to do 10 things at one time. No surprise, I was mediocre at all 10. When I scaled back, when I concentrated, I could do more. Okay, so I scaled back. I took 2 steps back so I could take 7 steps forward. Okay, so less is more for me in business. I'm not trying to do more. I couldn't do more than 30 hours a day, 20 years. That was my max capacity. Nowadays, less is more. Okay, I could do more with less. So what do I mean by that in terms of the options market? I'm not trying to track 20 tickers. I'm not trying to track 50 tickers. I'm trying to track maybe 3 tickers and go focus on more important things. So there's some shout out to Howard, some lessons, some takeaways from me. Speaking of takeaways, let me see if I have this. I want to share this. Do I have the takeaways? Let me see if I find the takeaways. Okay, well, I can't find it. Never mind with that. Maybe I'll share that next week. Let me check the notes. All right, let's go back to Google. Gemini. Shout out to Gemini. Stop sharing that. Let me share. Let me go to Google. Go to Gemini and ask Gemini. Actually, one thing I forgot to do was look up earnings. So we're gonna ask the Gemini. We're going to ask the AI agent about earnings. Okay, if you can see the bottom right there. What companies report earnings this week? Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, earlier this week on Tuesday, JP Morgan, okay, shout out Jamie Dimon, Delta, BNY Mellon, BOA, BOA today. Today's Wednesday, today's Wednesday. Bank of America today, Wells Fargo, the shadiest bank of them all, the most scandalous bank of them all. Shout out Wells Fargo. Your whole damn staff needs to be replaced. Citigroup, okay, big boy tomorrow, TSM. Top 10 company in the world, top 12 company in the world. BlackRock, one of the biggest asset management companies in the world. BlackRock. And when is that? Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Friday, PNC, M&T. Okay, a lot of banks this week. A lot of banks. Morgan Stanley tomorrow. Goldman's. Okay, yeah, some big heavyweight banks, man. Goldman, Morgan Stanley, BOA, and Chase. Big boy banks, okay, reporting earnings. Okay, I've got my eye on the end of the month. We got some big boy companies reporting at the end of the month. Some heavyweight companies report later this month. So that's what we got coming up. All right, so that's earnings. All right, let me search Actually, let me go back. Let me go right back to Gemini. Okay. What are key events in the stock market this week? Let's see what the Gemini says. Okay. Key events this week. We talked about CPI, PPI. What else we got? Tuesday, the CPI. Today, the PPI. Retail sales, weekly jobless claims, upcoming reports. Let's see what we got coming up. Okay. Major corporate earnings. Okay, we just talked about some of this. TSM tomorrow. Keep an eye on TSM tomorrow. Big boy reports tomorrow. Geopolitical and political. Fed tensions. We kind of talked about that. Now, I saw this the other day. Trump's proposal. Now, proposal is one thing. Implementation is something completely different. So I'm wondering if this will even get. I doubt this will get to the implementation stage. The proposal is one thing. Implementation is something completely different. Energy sector rally. Geopolitical tensions in Iran and Venezuela have fueled a rally in oil prices and energy stocks. ExxonMobil shares hitting all-time high. Okay, you know that's no accident. Okay, so some of the key events this week. I'm sure ExxonMobil. I got to look up ExxonMobil CEO. Let me look up ExxonMobil CEO. XOM. This is another guy. I got to send his ass to work. Who we got? This guy's on my to send to work list. Darren Woods. Your ass is on my radar. Okay. I got to send your ass to work. Okay. ExxonMobil, you like working? Darren Woods, you like working hard? Cool. Send your ass to work. All right. So CEO for ExxonMobil, Darren Woods. Okay, you're on my list. Okay, all right. I got you in the scopes, Darren Woods. I got you in the scopes. All right, what y'all got to think about that? Any comments or questions, drop them in the chat. While you do that, let me check out Market Watch. Let's check any headlines on Market Watch. Stock indexes remain in the red as Supreme Court keeps Wall Street waiting for tariff ruling. No surprise. Let me share this. Here's some not so breaking news. Not so surprising news. Let's check this headline right here. Market Watch. This is as much news as water is wet. This is as much news as the sky is blue. Here you go. In the upper right there, he was in the room for Trump's Venezuela's pitch. Now this American oil man says he's ready to start drilling. No shit. You've been ready to start drilling. Come on now. Who you fooling with that shit? Nobody. What else we got? China's record trade surplus is as big as the GDP of most countries. Okay, China don't give a shit. China making their own moves. China ain't worried about what U.S. is doing. China's 1.2 trillion trade surplus for 25 is the largest on record for any economy. Okay, so there's a lesson right there, just in those few words. Here's my takeaway from here's my takeaway from this subheadline. Be so hot that my competitors can't even compete with me. Be so hot, be so great, be so exceptional. It doesn't even matter what my competitors are doing. I'm going to win regardless. Okay, so they won't let me read. I'm too dangerous when I read too much. Okay, you guys can check that out. Okay, I don't even need to read the whole damn headline. I got the takeaway already. My takeaway is to be so exceptional. It doesn't matter what my direct competitors are doing. Be so exceptional. It doesn't matter what my indirect competitors are doing. I'm going to whoop their ass regardless. That's my takeaway. Doesn't matter. HR don't like my resume. I'm going to whoop their ass in business anyways. Doesn't matter. Mr. Charlie don't like me. I'm going to whoop his ass in business anyways. I'm too hot. I put in too many reps. I put in too much sacrifice. I put in too many hours. I'm going to whoop his ass anyways. That's my takeaway. Okay, what do you guys think about that? All right. Let me look at the market. Nice and red in these asset streets. Bitcoin. Let's check the chart on Bitcoin. Let's check the chart on Bitcoin. Let me see what's going on with Bitcoin. BTCCHART. Let me share. Stop sharing. No, that's the wrong one. Share screen. Stock market. Gemini. Here we go. Okay, all you Bitcoin holders, I know you'll like this. Okay, currently just under 97,000. Bitcoin is trading approximately 97 as of 14th, having risen in value over the last week. The price is nearing 100 mark for the first time since November, fueled by a strong spot ETF inflows and its role as potential safe haven. Its potential role as a potential safe haven asset. That's the first time I've seen this asset returned as a potential safe haven asset. So even the narrative is being changed. Even the narrative behind Bitcoin is being changed. Bitcoin rose as much as 4% today to reach 2-month high, breaking above its 100-day moving average, a level many traders see as bullish. Institutional interest. BTC ETFs saw their largest daily inflows over the 3 months on Tuesday, attracting a whole bunch, indicating renewed institutional interest in crypto. Macroeconomic factors, political uncertainty surrounding U.S. Fed Reserve, combined with the release of CPI and PPI, has led investors to lean into haven assets like, now it's called a haven asset. Okay, yesterday it was a risky asset. Yesterday it was used as by money launderers. Today it's a haven asset. Okay, so you love the narrative change on that. Okay, you love the narrative change on that one. Okay, 1 minute it's risky. 1 minute it's used by money launderers. 1 minute is used by scammers. The next minute it's a safe haven asset. Okay. 24-hour change, almost 5%. 7-day change, almost 7%, 6.5%. Market cap, almost 2 trillion. All-time high, 126. Okay. October 5th, 2025, last year, 126,272. All right, so here's the chart on Bitcoin. Can I do the 1 day? 1 day right there. Okay, so look, what time is this right here? 9 a.m. Eastern this morning, 94, almost 95. Current price, 97. Okay, 2,000 USD increase in what, 4 hours? So here's the daily. Here's the 5-day. Okay, so back on the 11th, which was what, Saturday? Midnight Saturday, 90. Present day, present time, 97. Okay, 1 month. Okay, what day is this right here? December 16th, 85. Less than a month later, present day is what? January 14th, 85 to 97. Okay, on the December 16th, it was 85. Present day, present time, 97. What else we got? Down here, December 30th. Okay, December 30th, 87. Present day, present time, 97. Okay, so BTC chart right there. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Do you hold Bitcoin? Do you hold Bitcoin? My guy James says more big money will be put into Bitcoin for sure now. Yep. Follow the big money. You know, this is America. America, you don't really listen to what the politicians say. You follow the money. You want to know the truth? You follow the dollars. Okay. One simple investing strategy I use, one simple philosophy I have, I put my little money where big money puts their money. Okay, so I put my little money where big money puts their money. Okay, I just keep it simple. All right, so that's Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin. Currently at 97. All right. 1:04 p.m. Eastern. My name is Errol. I'm your host for Winning Wednesdays, and I am simply a critically thinking, melanated man. If that makes me dangerous, so be it. I'm going to check you out next week, Wednesday, noon Eastern. We'll meet again. More current events in the financial markets, more mindset, more skill set, more work ethic. Until then, keep doing your thing. I'll check you out next week, Wednesday. Peace.